Hi everybody, this is Crooked. Trying not to make it crooked, trying not to make it. Playing Little League World Series 2008, by the way. We're ready to go, let's go. First things first, of course, you may be wondering what I'm doing right here at home tonight. Well, pretty simple explanation. My mom, unfortunately, tested positive for COVID. And that means we have to quarantine not just for this week, but the next week. Oh, that was a hanging curve begging to be crushed. Oh man. Tape measure blast, as the announcer says it. Speaking of tape measure, I don't know why it says measure. Nope, that's caught. Anyways, Cavaliers, Darius Garland leads us with 16.8 points per game and 7.1 assists per game, and Jared Town leads us with 10.9 rebounds per game. Of course, Evan Mobley is hurt. He'll be out for a few weeks. And speaking of Evan Mobley, he has 1.5 blocks per game, and Ricky Rubio leads us with steals per game and free throw percentage. Gotta admit it, Ricky Rubio's pretty cool. And you gotta admit, that one is a murder. Holy. That one's gonna head towards the gap. Just one base. Of course, there's Little League 2009 and 2010, and then it got canceled after that. Kind of a shame, because it was pretty fun. Cavs against the Wizards. Cavs lost that one 97-94. Rookie had 20 points and 5 rebounds and 5 assists, and Evan and Darius 19 points each, and Montrezl Harrell and Kyle Kuzma 22 points each, and Spencer Dinwiddie 11 points, 10 assists. Kyle Kuzma game-winning 3 late in the game, as this one is shout out to right and caught. We were waiting for most of the second half, but in the end, the game just ended up being in favor of the Hoodie column. Washington Wizards, who have been really good all season long. Wizards Warriors have just been doing so fantastic, it's hard to believe. That might be their first hit. And it's going to be trouble. It goes to the gap. Thinking 3. In a rundown. Safe. We won against the Pistons, but that was pretty obvious. Darius, 21.7 assists, 16 points for 7 rebounds. Isaac Okoro, 9 points, 9 rebounds. Now, that's a name I haven't mentioned that much this season, as there's a rifle to the plate, but it's too late. Love the animations they do after getting an RBI. So cute. That one is hung in the air as center and caught. Jeremy Grant, 16 points. Josh Jackson, 11 points. Cavs were leading for almost the entire game. Each team ended up with 12 steals and 5 blocks. Wingwood up ahead. 2-1, what looks to be a high-scoring game. Nice diving stop there for the out. And then the Cavs against the Celtics. We won one of our most impressive wins of the entire season. A great 91-89 victory after putting up just 9 points in the first quarter. Definitely impressive to see. Darius, 22.6 assists, 19 points, 9 rebounds. And Ricky, 16 points, 2 threes. Dennis Schroeder, 28 points. Robert Williams, the third, 12 points, 16 rebounds. And the Celtics had a 19-point lead. The Celtics blew a 19-point lead. And that one was a frozen rope right to the shortstop. And that one's another frozen rope right to the shortstop. So no runs scored that inning. It's Little League Volunteer Stadium. According to the commentary in Little League 2009, it was built in, I think, 2001 to accompany all the round-robin games because of just the amount of people there. And then Jarrett didn't play his last game Monday against the Celtics, which was a 6-point loss. Ricky had 28 points, 4 threes. Jetty, 26 points, 6 threes. Jason Tatum, 23 points, 8 rebounds. Al Horford, 17 points, 9 rebounds. Very low scoring for most of the game, and the Cavs were winning for almost the entire second half. That one is inside out. And we played the Nets tonight. I can't wait for that. It should be on ESPN, but it's probably not going to be on ESPN because the Cavs are getting no love or attention by anyone, even though we are 9-6. And it's gotten to that point in the season in which you really begin to consider who's and what's in the entire NBA. This one's going to be a weak pop-up, one out. New England 2, Southeast 1. And typically, New England's a pretty weak team in this game, and Southeast is probably the best. And that one's into the gap. Gonna try and make it for 2, safe. Uh-oh. Tommy's Picks, Division 1, Region 1. As that one is gonna make it 4-1, kaboom. 403 feet. He turned off the mercy rule because, well, I want the kids to suffer if they're losing by a lot. Just kidding, because you never know. Anyways, St. Ed's beat McKinley 42-0. Medina beat St. Ives 27-14. That one's going to be out number 3. A P1. Division 2, Region 5, Archbishop Hoban with a nice 35-7 win over Nordonia. And how about Walsh Jesuit with a 34-20 upset over number 1 seeded Benedictine. This one is riding to the center field wall and safe as a call. And then you had Avon beating Olmsted Falls 49-21, and then heartbreak over in, where do you call it? Bellevue, that's where it was. Bellevue, heartbreak in Bellevue. Hornets blow a 17-point lead on behalf of a 14-point lead, and what had to have been one of the most frustrating and sad games I've ever seen. A 23-20 classic. And for the Hornets, they should not beat themselves up. It was one great season. It's a shame that it had to end so early, and it's a shame that it had to end in the most heartbreaking way imaginable. It seems like the Hornets always lose in heartbreaking fashion. Whether if it was boys basketball, whether if it was, what do you call it, softball, or whatever it is, seems like we always seem to lose in the most heartbreaking ways. And it's not because our school is bad, trust me. Highland is great, you know that. But it's just that the other schools always find ways to rip our hearts out. But you know what? They don't rip our hearts out because they can't take away any of the fun memories we've had here, all the excitement and all the drama. They can't take it away. And that's what I'm saying. It's been a great season. Massillon Washington upsets Big Walnut, as this one is slapped to the center. That sat down. 38-0. And Green beat Worcester, ending Worcester's Cinderella run 21-14. Chardon beat Canfield 27-14. And here comes the first pitch. In a center field, catch made. Might double up the runner at first. Nope. Dover beat Kenston 24-7. Ooh, ugly swing and a miss. How about West Holmes beating the tar out of Rocky River 51-28. As this one is going to be a base hit. How about that? And Holy Name continuing a Cinderella run. 28-21 win, as there's a ground ball back up the middle. That'll be a base hit. This center fielder just watched it. I think now I'm going to bring in a new pitcher for New England. How many outs is there? 1. You need a double play. You need a ground ball. Unfortunately, you don't know who's a ground ball pitcher in this game. But this pitcher, William Jackson, looks like he is not that bad of a pitcher. And he'll get out number 2 right there. West Branch beat Perry 26-19, and Ursuline beat Glenville 42-38. And how about those Kirtland Hornets? They know how to do one thing and one thing only, and that's win football games. 25-7 win. And South Range beat Garraway 15-12, and Elyria Catholic beat Elmwood 51-21. And Ottawa Glandorf with an upset over Otsego 24-22 is the number 5 seed. Ottawa Glandorf did the unthinkable, taking down number 1 seed. College football, you had Northern Illinois beat Ball State 30-29. That one's opposite field and caught. Central Michigan beat Kent 54-30. Pitt beat North Carolina in overtime, as that one's a liner in his center, 3 outs. And Michigan beat Penn State, escaping an upset at Happy Valley. Death Valley is Clemson. Happy Valley is Penn State. Baylor with a big upset over Oklahoma. Something like what Robert Griffin III did in 2011. Remember him for the football team and Cleveland, and he got hurt in his first game and came back? Yeah, remember he was actually pretty good in college. And that upset by Baylor reminded me a lot of that game, which he upset Oklahoma. And anyways, Auburn blew a 28-3 lead. They pulled their inner, Atlanta Falcons, blowing a 28-3 lead at home to Mississippi State. That is embarrassing if I ever saw something. 43-34, and Houston crushed Temple 37-8. And how about Ohio State? Your Buckeyes win that one 59-31, and Iowa beat Minnesota 27-22, and Florida State with an upset win over Miami, Florida 31-28. Ole Miss took down Texas A&M as the first pitch coming up is inside outed for the 3rd out. And Kentucky beat Vandy 34-17, and Wake Forest beat NC State in a good game 45-42, and Notre Dame did something that the Auburn Tigers wish they could have done, and that was not blow a 28-3 lead by winning 28-3. See how it works, folks? It's pretty easy, as that is a waste. No, it's not a waste. It's a base hit. Wow, that was weird. Should have done something else, as that one's in his shallow center field, charging in and making the catch. And Oklahoma State crushed TCU 63-17, and Oregon beat Washington State 38-14. Then you have the NFL as a ground ball is going to end this game, or a line drive caught will put them 1 out away, and now the tying run. And hold everything, this game's not over. Here it comes. No runs, actually. Now here's Hunter Thomas. And that ought to do it. New England survives a 4-2 victory. And thankfully, with their pal Jacob White with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. What a game that was. Don't worry. In the words of the late Billy Mays. But wait, there's more. Yes. Free Willy winner over the Who Do You Call 'em Baltimore Ravens. How about them? My little brother wanted me to play with Middle East Africa and Southeast. And I said, typically they don't really face off against each other. So I decided, to do Middle East Africa for 1 game and Southeast for another. Anyways, Free Willy upset 22-10, and the Patriots won 45-7, beating the tar out of the poor Cleveland Browns. And the Bills won against the Jets. I think it's safe to say, folks, that the Mike White era is officially over, as we are at Howard J. Lamadé Park, or Howard J. Lamadé Stadium. I used to think it was LeMade as a kid. That one's ripped. Base hit, unless they can gun him out at first. It didn't happen. MEA, that's Middle East Africa against Latin America. As that one is belted. A nice catch. And the football team with a big upset over the Buccaneers, 29-19. And the Cowboys destroyed the Falcons 43-3 in a game that I didn't see coming. And the Titans beat the Saints after preventing a 2-point conversion. The Titans are now 8-2 on the season. Why did the run even ponder going to 3rd right there? But here is Kayam Badawi. That one drops. Someone dove. That'll be at least one run. Here comes his second run. He's going to be out. Wow. Colts beat Sucksonville. What a surprise. 23-17. But you know what's a big surprise? The loser Lions didn't lose. I kid you not. The loser Lions didn't lose. How did that even happen is beyond me. But the loser Lions didn't lose. You know what they did instead? They tied 16-16 against the Steelers. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, I was dying of laughter watching that game. It was like watching a circus, except if the circus was unintentional. He might beat that out. Gotta love infield singles when you see him. Here's your star player. Keep in mind, of course, star players can hit home runs whenever that power meter's filled. And if you hit the B button, or A and B. And the Vikings beat the Chargers in an upset, 27-20. And by the way, I don't know if you heard, but Cam Newton is back. He yelled, "I'm back," after scoring a touchdown on the first play in which he was back. 34-10 win against Arizona. Die Eagles die one against a very, nonchalant and non-trying Teddy check down, 30-13. Of course, you saw that pick, or that stupid score, defensive touchdown at least for the Eagles. You saw that Teddy Bridgewater was just walking, gave no effort at all on that play. And then the Packers shut out the Seahawks in Russell Wilson's first game back 17-0. Chiefs beat the Raiders 41-14, and the 49ers beat the Rams 31-10. And so, as you can tell, my picks were absolutely atrocious in the NFL. 3-10-1. I am 86-63 and 1 with 96 points. That one slapped for now. Time for your regional finals. Tommy's picks. St. Ed's against Medina. This is the biggest game of the entire season in all of high school football. This game should be gaining national attention. And in my opinion, Drew Lauer and the Medina Battling Bees ought to get the win here. That one's hanging right for the statue. And over the statue, we're tied. I'm the second two out. And opposite field, and the catch made. Archbishop Hoban playing Walsh Jesuit. What should be a good game there, but I'm picking Archbishop Hoban. Avon against Toledo Central Catholic. I'm telling you, Toledo Central Catholic, don't sleep on them. They're one of the best teams in the state. But I think Avon's got it. Even if it was Highland, I have a bad feeling that Avon would still win it. As this one is a little flare and a nice catch for 2 out. Massillon playing Green. I'm picking the Tigers to win, and the Tigers who once again advance to the next round, looking for that elusive state championship they haven't won in over 50 years. Charting against Dover. Upset alert. Dover's going to win it. West Holmes against Holy Name. West Holmes to win it. West Branch against Ursuline. I'm picking West Branch. Lock of the week is going to be a Kirtland victory over South Range. And Elyria Catholic against Ottawa Glandorf. I'm picking Elyria Catholic. As you can tell, a lot of Northeast Ohio teams out there repping this region of the great state of Ohio really well in high school football, as that is just a phenomenal catch out there at left field. Of course, there were no international teams this year at the Little League World Series because of COVID. It ended up being Ohio against Michigan, in case you forgot. That was a Michigan victory that State Up North got the win against us in the Little League Championship and the Little League World Series. At first, I was a little confused because I thought, okay, now comes the championship in which they play the world team. No, because of COVID. Everyone was in masks and stuff because they're smart. Anyways, Buffalo's beating Northern Illinois, Ohio State beating Michigan State, and what should be a great game. Unless if it's like 2015 again. I know you Ohio State fans don't like to talk about 2015 against Michigan State, and I can't blame you guys. Clemson against Wake Forest. It's at Death Valley, but Clemson has been really ugly all season long. I'm picking Wake Forest. Oklahoma against Iowa State. Picking Oklahoma. Akron against Kent for the elusive Wagon Wheel Trophy. It should be a lot of fun. I would go. but probably not because of the bad weather and the fact that it's at 12, and because of the fact that I probably will have other stuff to do, and probably because of the fact that Kent State will probably win the football game. Just like how Notre Dame's going to beat Georgia Tech and Alabama's going to beat Arkansas, and SMU is not going to beat Cincinnati. Cincinnati is going to beat SMU. I had it written down on my prompt, but no. Cincinnati is going to beat SMU because Cincinnati is home, and Cincinnati is going through an obvious case of the Rodney Dangerfield effect because they don't get no respect. They are number 5 in the college football playoff rankings, whereas in my humble and honest opinion, it should be Georgia 1, Alabama 2, Cincinnati 3, and Ohio State 4. I really think if Cincinnati plays Ohio State, that would be a great game. But because it's the college football playoffs and because it's the NCAA, well, schools like Cincinnati don't stand a prayer. Wisconsin's my lock of the week against Nebraska. NC State going to beat Syracuse. Louisiana to beat Liberty. Stanford to beat Cal in the big game. Upset alert. Oregon's going down. That's going to help out Cincinnati. I know I'm a big Notre Dame fan, but you can't help but root for those Bearcats. As a school in Ohio, knowing a lot of folks out there that go there, knowing a lot of folks that will be going there next year. You can't help but root for them and pray that they're going to advance. And I think they're going to get some help. Speaking of help, that's some help for Middle East Africa. Utah wins, and Oklahoma State's being Texas Tech, and LSU's being UL Monroe, and what could quite easily be Coach O's last win ever at LSU. That one is a great diving catch that saves a run. Wow, 1 run, 7 hits. NFL, let's hope I do well this week. Falcons against the Patriots. I think Mac Jones is going to lead them to a win as that one slapped into the gap. 1 base, thinking 2 bases, and in there. Browns against the loser Lions. Dan Campbell will be crying once again as this one will go to the Cleveland Browns. As that's a 9-3 ground out. Not every day you see that. I'm going to go with the right-hander. Star player Alibaba. I like that name when I was a kid. Gotta go with the right-hander against the right-hander. Ooh. Anyways, Die Eagles Die. Gonna play the Saints. I think the Saints ought to win that as that's a base hit and the move backfires as Latin America leads 2-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here we go. The pitch. Fly ball right. Gonna be caught. Not gonna double him up. The return of Joe Flacco for the Jets. Gonna play Free Willy. That ought to be an easy Free Willy winner. I mean, if you beat Baltimore, that should be a guaranteed win against the Jets. Panthers against the football team. I don't know if you know, but Cam Newton's back. And he is going to be back with another win. Bills against the Colts. Should be a good game, but I'm picking the Buffalo Bills to win that one. Should be a gimme for them. Jacksonville against the 49ers. 49ers win. Titans against the Texans toast. Lock of the week gonna be Tennessee. Why would I ever think Houston's gonna win it? They're not even that good. They only have 1 win this season. And then the Packers against the Vikings, picking the Packers. Ravens to beat Fire Matt Nagy, otherwise known as the Chicago Bears. Bears against the Bungles. Bungles, of course, are reverting as that one is a great catch. And Middle East Africa getting close to a victory out here. How many outs is there? 2 outs. Cowboys going to upset the Chiefs. Cardinals going to beat the Packers. Steelers going to beat the Chargers. And the Bucks going to beat the Giant Losers. Here's a pitch. It's in a right, and that's it. Latin America may not have had as many hits, but they did have more runs than their counterparts. And they shake hands like what everyone should do. Well, it's a shame that this episode's almost over. What's not a shame, or it's also a shame that the high school football season's over for Highland, but what's not a shame is that the memories are never over. And I hope that maybe I can get my friends over here to play and have fun for the, celebrate the season, how great of a season was. I told my friends we could jackbox sometime soon, but I kind of doubt that'll happen, but you never know. Please do it, Mom. Tommy Maroon here, signing off. Have a great day, and take care.